Arpita. Today we'll deal with the topic chemical basis of heredity. Now, in the past series, I have dealt with what is genetics, what is Mendelian genetics, what are the physical basis of hereditary, and today we will deal with the chemical basis. Now, what is chemical basis? Chemical basis generally refers to the biochemical reactions which can be carried out due to that genetic trait. It is the sequence of nitrogenous bases which regulate the biochemical reactions. Now, how a DNA can regulate a biochemical reactions? Because we all are aware that from the DNA there is synthesis of mRNA, that is the messenger RNA, and messenger RNA codes for a amino acid. Combining the amino acid, we can get a protein. So in this way, each and every nitrogenous base is important for a particular biochemical reactions. Now, after Mendel's genetics laws, that is the law of dominance, law of independent assortment, law of segregation, then there was discovery of DNA, that is the deoxyribonucleic acid is actually the material of hereditary. So after all these contribution by the famous scientists and as well as with the non-famous colleagues of them, we have come to a confirmed knowledge that DNA is actually the material of heredity. Now, DNA, that is the nucleic acid, is it of two types. One is DNA, another is RNA. DNA is of the full name of DNA or the full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. It is mostly found inside the nucleus and it carries the genetic code. RNA, that is ribonucleic acid, it is also present in the nucleus and then it moves towards the cytoplasm and it helps in protein synthesis. If we look at the discovery of DNA as the genetic material, it was long back in 1869. In 1869, Friedrich Mischer has discovered a material which he has named as nuclein. And this nuclein at 24, every macroid and McCarty. Every McLeod and McCarty, these are the three scientists who are very famous for proving that DNA is exactly the genetic material. Then in 1952, Hershey and Chase has also confirmed the DNA which is inherited using the bacteriophages. So it was a series of experiments done by these intelligent scientists and confirming that DNA is actually the genetic material. Now, when we talk about the structure, we have dealt it with in the physical characters. The structure of DNA is given by Watson and Crick, and it is famous as Watson and Crick model. It was given in 1953. So you can imagine how advanced the scientists were in the 1950s, where they have already discovered the structure of DNA. Now, DNA is a double helical structure. It has a repeated unit of nucleotides, and nucleotides are made up of phosphate, deoxyribose sugar, and nitrogenous bases. Specifically, when we talk about nitrogenous bases, it is of two types, purines and pyrimidines. Purines include adenine and guanine, and pyrimidines include thymine and cytosine. When we talk about the base pairing, adenine pairs with thymine, guanine pairs with cytosine. When adenine is pairing with thymine, it contributes two hydrogen bonds, whereas when G is combining with cytosine, that is C, it has three hydrogenous bonds. And this pairing is known as DNA complementarity, and it is very important and plays an important and crucial role while DNA replication. If we talk about the genetic code of hereditary, then we will talk about the genes. So I have already dealt that gene is a part of DNA which codes for a specific protein. And it has nitrogenous bases, that is ATGC. And the sequence of this ATGC is responsible for coding a protein, because ATGC will synthesize a mRNA. mRNA will be read by ribosomes in triplets and it will code as a single amino acids. Those amino acid will combine to form a protein. Minimum 20 amino acid must get combined to form a minimum proteins. If there is less than 20 amino acid, then it can't be a protein. This code of triplet is based on 3 bases, 1 codon and 1 amino acid. Let's see the example. DNA sequence has ATG, TTT, GGC. Now the mRNA will be the complementary AUG. If the mRNA code will be as AUG, UUU, GGC, then from AUG, the amino acid which it code is methionine, UUU is phenylalanine, and last is glycine. So these are the 3 amino acids which are joining to form the initial part of the protein. Now there is DNA is the genetic material. So DNA comprises of genes. DNA will help in synthesis of mRNA and mRNA will help in synthesis of protein. So this transcription and translations comes under central dogma. It was proposed by Francis Crick and he has showed that DNA will get transferred or get converted to a coding sequences of mRNA or RNA, and then it will be decoded to form the protein. So there are two processes. One is transcription and another is translation. DNA is copied to mRNA, that is transcription, and mRNA is decoded into protein, that is translation. Now, RNA is the supporting hereditary material and protein synthesis material. How? Because sometimes RNA act as a genetic material. In some species, there is absence of DNA. So, in that cases, RNA act as a supporting hereditary material. If we look at the types of RNA, we will find that there are 3 types of RNA. These are the basic types. We are not going on in the advanced types of RNA. It is mRNA, messenger RNA, tRNA, that is transfer RNA, rRNA, that is ribosomal RNA. Now, messenger RNAs carries the code which is offered by the DNA and it gives it to ribosomes for translation. tRNA is responsible for transferring the amino acids. So tRNA has an end where there is anticodon ends and the other end which has amino acid attached to it. That is tRNA, that is transfer RNA. Ribosomal RNA is present inside the structure of ribosome. But one important thing is when we talk about RNA, it does not have thymine. It has uracil. So thymine is replaced by uracil in case of RNA. Now DNA, whenever there is DNA, then DNA will do transcription, translation as well as replication. DNA is duplicated before every cell division. Rather, it is very much compulsory that as DNA replicate, then the cells must go to cell division state. Now, it is a semi-conservative mechanism where one old strand remains and the other strand is synthesized as a complementary. Where in my channel, I have made one video on the semi modes of the replication. You can go through it to understand how DNA gets replicated. The enzymes involved are helicase, polymerase, ligase, and there are many more enzymes which I'm not dealing here. We have a separate video on DNA replication. You can go through it if you want to know the knowledge of DNA replication. So this is one part where the DNA goes and moves for DNA replicating. There is possibility of mutation in DNA, and whenever there is mutation, there is chemical change in the hereditary material. And this mutation is mostly a permanent change where there is change in the sequence of DNA. This can be caused by chemicals, can be caused by radiations or some errors which is observed in the genetic disorders. There can be point mutation, there can be frame shift mutation, that there can be deletion, additions, translocation. There are lots varieties of mutation available. We have the videos, you can go and watch it for details. So DNA has the tendency to get mutated in case of some mutagens like chemicals as well as the radiations. Now, when we talk about epigenetics affects the genetic expression without altering the DNA sequence. Sequence is same, but the expression are changing. This can be done by DNA methylation, histone modification, and it uh, can cause a disease. It can affect the diet. It can be due to stress. It can be due to environmental factors. There are many silly reasons which can contribute in epigenetics. Now, if we see about the summary of this chemical basis of hereditary, we can conclude as DNA is a hereditary information storage center. RNA helps in genetic information expression. Gene is the functional unit of hereditary. Nucleotides are the building blocks of DNA and RNA. Proteins are the final products that determines the traits. Mutations is the source of genetic variations, and enzymes help in all the processes including transcription, translation, replications, and many more. And mutations in repair systems also there are involvement of enzymes. Now, conclusion, we can conclude that chemical basis of hereditary lies in the molecular structures and function of DNA and RNA. They can store, they can transmit, and as well as they can express the genetic information from one generation to the next. If you understand the chemical foundation, that will help us to study about the evolution, the development of the persons, the development or the type of disease which it can inculcate. There are techniques like DNA sequencing which can give you the entire idea about the genetic makeup. So here we can conclude with the chemical basis of hereditary. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can write it in the comment sections. And thank you for being with me and happy studying.